This woman drinks 6 liters of Coke every day, but 5 years later, she really regretted it. Alice had an addiction that started innocently enough but soon spiraled out of control. She drank approximately 6 liters of Coke every day. It was her favorite beverage, and she simply didn't like the taste of water, so she stuck to Coke. Her dependence on Coke began in her childhood. Her mother, perhaps not fully understanding the consequences, gave her Coke frequently. As Alice grew older, her consumption increased. By her teenage years, Coke was a constant companion, and the habit only deepened with time. Over the years, Alice visited numerous doctors. Each one delivered the same dire warning: if she didn't stop drinking Coke immediately, she would face severe health consequences. But Alice didn't heed their advice. She found comfort in her daily routine of Coke consumption and chose to ignore the medical warnings. Despite the escalating concerns from healthcare professionals, Alice's Coke intake grew. In recent years, she was drinking up to 7 liters of Coke a day. Her addiction was so powerful that the first thing she did upon waking was to drink a glass of Coke. It had become an unbreakable ritual. However, this story takes a turn. 5 years later, Alice no longer drinks Coke. Reflecting on her past choices, she is filled with regret. The advice of the doctors, once ignored, now haunts her. The damage caused by her Coke addiction is irreversible. So, what happened to Alice? The health issues she faces today are a stark reminder of her choices. Years of excessive Coke consumption led to severe medical problems, including obesity, diabetes, and dental decay. Her body struggled to cope with the constant influx of sugar and caffeine, and the long-term impact was devastating. Alice's story serves as a cautionary tale. It underscores the importance of moderation and listening to healthcare professionals. The immediate gratification of a favorite drink can lead to long-term suffering if not managed properly. Alice now advocates for healthier choices, hoping others can learn from her experience and avoid the path she once walked. Alice's health issues weren't limited to just physical ailments. The psychological toll of her addiction was equally harrowing. She often found herself in a cycle of guilt and denial. Each time she ignored a doctor's advice, she felt a pang of guilt, which she drowned in yet another glass of Coke. As the years went by, Alice began to notice subtle changes in her body. She gained weight rapidly, and her energy levels plummeted. She found herself constantly tired, yet unable to sleep well at night due to the high caffeine intake. Socially, she became more withdrawn. The constant need to have a Coke with her made social interactions awkward, and she felt embarrassed by her dependency. One fateful day, Alice experienced a health scare that changed everything. She woke up with an excruciating pain in her chest and difficulty breathing. Panicked, she called an ambulance and was rushed to the hospital. The doctors diagnosed her with severe complications arising from her excessive Coke consumption, including early-onset diabetes and significant heart problems. This was her wake-up call. During her hospital stay, Alice had a lot of time to reflect on her choices. She realized that she had been in denial about the severity of her addiction. The scare forced her to confront the reality that she needed to make a change or face even graver consequences. Determined to turn her life around, Alice sought help from a nutritionist and a therapist who specialized in addiction. The road to recovery was not easy. The first few weeks were the hardest as she battled intense cravings and withdrawal symptoms, but Alice was resolute. She began substituting Coke with water and gradually introduced healthier beverages into her diet. Her journey to recovery also involved making significant lifestyle changes. She started exercising, which helped her lose some of the weight she had gained. She attended support groups where she met others who had faced similar struggles. These interactions provided her with a sense of community and the encouragement she needed to stay on track. 5 years later, Alice is a changed person. Though she still faces some health issues due to the damage done, she is in a much better place physically and mentally. She has become an advocate for healthy living, sharing her story to warn others about the dangers of excessive soda consumption. Alice speaks at schools and community centers, hoping to prevent others from making the same mistakes she did. Her regret is a constant reminder of the past, but it also fuels her mission to help others. Alice's story is a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the possibility of redemption. She hopes that by sharing her journey, she can inspire others to make healthier choices and avoid the pitfalls of addiction. Alice's journey is a lesson in the importance of self-awareness, the value of seeking help, and the power of making positive changes. It's never too late to turn your life around, and Alice is living proof of that. As Alice continued her advocacy work, she found a new sense of purpose and fulfillment. Her message resonated with many people, especially young adults who were at risk of developing similar unhealthy habits. She became a regular speaker at health conferences and was often invited to share her story on various media platforms. Alice also decided to write a book detailing her experiences. The book, titled *Breaking the Chains: My Journey from Coke Addiction to Health*, chronicled her life from childhood through her addiction and eventual recovery. It included detailed accounts of her struggles, the turning points, and the steps she took to reclaim her health. The book became a bestseller, inspiring countless readers to take charge of their own health. One of the most rewarding aspects of Alice's new life was the feedback she received from people who had heard her story. She received letters and messages from individuals who had decided to cut back on their soda consumption or who had sought help for their own addictions. Many shared how her story had given them hope and motivation to make positive changes in their lives. Alice also partnered with health organizations to launch campaigns aimed at reducing sugar consumption among children and teenagers. She worked with schools to implement educational programs that highlighted the dangers of excessive sugar intake and promoted healthier alternatives. Her efforts contributed to a growing awareness about the impact of sugary drinks on health, and she was recognized with several awards for her contributions to public health. Despite her busy schedule, Alice never lost sight of her own health journey. She continued to prioritize her well-being, attending regular checkups and maintaining a balanced diet. Exercise became a daily ritual, not just for its physical benefits, but also for the mental clarity and stress relief it provided. Alice discovered a passion for yoga and meditation, practices that helped her stay centered and focused. In her personal life, Alice reconnected with her family. The strained relationships caused by her addiction began to heal as she made amends and demonstrated her commitment to a healthier lifestyle. Her mother, who had unwittingly contributed to her early addiction, expressed deep remorse and pride in Alice's transformation. The two developed a closer bond, supporting each other in their respective journeys towards better health. Alice's story spread beyond her local community, reaching an international audience. She was invited to speak at global health forums and even collaborated with international health organizations to address the global epidemic of sugary drink consumption. Her work took her to different parts of the world, where she learned about diverse cultures and their unique challenges in promoting healthy living. Through her travels, Alice realized the universal nature of her message, the importance of making informed choices about what we consume, and the impact those choices have on our overall health. She became an advocate for policy changes, pushing for stricter regulations on the marketing and sale of sugary drinks, especially to children. Alice's journey was not just about overcoming addiction, but also about using her experience to drive change and help others. She understood the power of her story and the responsibility that came with it. Every day, she strived to live a life that was a testament to the possibility of recovery and the importance of healthy living. Looking back, Alice knew that her past was a crucial part of who she had become. The regret she once felt had transformed into a powerful motivator, driving her to make a difference in the world. Her story was a beacon of hope, showing that it was never too late to make a change, and that with determination and support, anyone could overcome their demons and lead a healthier, more fulfilling life. Alice's journey also brought her into contact with the scientific community. Researchers studying the effects of sugar and caffeine on the body reached out to her, intrigued by her story. They wanted to understand more about her experiences and how they could contribute to broader studies on addiction and health. Alice agreed to participate in several studies, providing valuable insights and data that helped advance understanding in these fields. One of the most significant projects Alice was involved in was a comprehensive study on the long-term effects of high sugar consumption. Her detailed accounts of her health issues and recovery process provided real-world evidence that complemented the laboratory findings. The study's results were published in a prominent medical journal, gaining widespread attention and prompting discussions about public health policies related to sugar intake. Alice's involvement in these research projects deepened her interest in science and health. She decided to pursue further education, enrolling in online courses on nutrition and public health. This new knowledge not only enriched her advocacy work, but also empowered her to make more informed decisions about her own health. She even considered becoming a certified nutritionist, wanting to help others on a more personal level. In addition to her advocacy and educational efforts, Alice started a foundation dedicated to supporting individuals struggling with sugar addiction. The foundation offered resources such as counseling services, educational materials, and support groups. It also funded research into the effects of sugar on health and the development of effective treatment programs for addiction. Alice's foundation quickly became a beacon of hope for many, providing crucial support to those in need. One of the foundation's key initiatives was the Healthy Choices program, which targeted schools and communities. The program provided workshops and interactive sessions for students, parents, and educators, focusing on the importance of a balanced diet and the dangers of excessive sugar consumption. It also offered cooking classes that taught participants how to prepare delicious, healthy meals and snacks. The program was a resounding success, with many schools reporting improved eating habits among their students. Alice's work began to attract media attention once again. She appeared on talk shows, podcasts, and news segments, sharing her message with an even wider audience. Her story was featured in documentaries and articles, highlighting her transformation and the positive impact of her advocacy. Alice's transparency about her struggles and triumphs resonated deeply with people, making her a relatable and inspirational figure. Despite her busy schedule, Alice made sure to prioritize her own well-being. She continued her yoga and meditation practices, finding peace and balance in her daily routines. She also maintained strong connections with her support network, including her family, friends, and fellow advocates. Their unwavering support was a constant reminder that she was not alone in her journey. As Alice reflected on her life, she felt a profound sense of gratitude. She had come a long way from the days of consuming liters of Coke, and her journey had been filled with challenges and triumphs. Her regret had transformed into a driving force for good, pushing her to help others avoid the same pitfalls. Alice knew that her story was far from over. It was a continuing journey of growth, learning, and making a difference. In the years that followed, Alice's work continued to evolve. She launched new initiatives, collaborated with other health advocates, and even explored writing a second book. Her legacy was one of resilience and hope, showing that no matter how deep one struggles, there was always a path to recovery and redemption. Alice's story was a testament to the power of change, the importance of health, and the impact one person can have on the world.